How is it going, YouTube? Malagant here. So I have recently just created an alt, and it's obviously a Barbarian. As you remember, I was going in between like opening a Sorcerer or the Barbarian. Going into Diablo 4 launch, I decided to open the Sorcerer. Mind you, I'm not really regretting it. It was a hell of a journey. I made the entire build by myself without, listening to anybody, checking any guides, just like trying to fit in everything that I can. But I'm coming up to a point where my greed is definitely causing me to die left and right, and the difficulty that I'm trying to push is definitely like just hitting too hard for my character, and my character is just an absolute pure glass cannon. It's incredibly fun to like pop lots of monsters, collect them together, and you watch them like literally just disappear within less than a second. It's absolutely insane, almost no matter the difficulty actually. But yeah, the same can be said for my character. I take like a lightning zap from the left hand side of screen, like I hit the floor immediately. Like you will see it every now and then in my clips anyways that I'm using for my videos. It's just hilarious, but it has been really fun to play, and I figure this spec out, and like try to theory craft a little bit, like which passives I could use and stuff like that. Kudos to Blizzard. There are lots of ways that you can make, other than maybe like the active skill that you use. There are lots of ways that you can make with like using ice armor, or like the passives differently, maybe involving a little bit of luck, using literally like different uniques is definitely possible, or legendary aspects as well. Like most of the aspects could be changed. It's very well made in that sense, but it's easy to speak like this because we don't have an in-game leaderboard, right? And I'm not checking other content creators, so I'm not necessarily well aware of what is the best, what is the what is the limit for this character. I did not figure this out myself. That's easily I can easily admit that, but it will be really easy to figure that out come season 1, because I'm assuming just like Diablo 3 there'll probably be some like leaderboards within the game where I'll be able to right click the top 10 players and then see, okay, let me see what they're doing differently than I do, right? So that way you'll be able to see what is outperforming when it comes to DPS at the same time while they're trying to somehow survive, right? So that's going to be pretty clearer to me. But I did really enjoy my journey. Now the main problem of my character, and the reason that I would like to maybe title this video like I benched my Sorcerer, because is basically the constructs in the game. So there are these units, right, that are not crowd controllable. So in this game the crowd control is like slow, chill, freeze, like anything that you can keep on or you can think of that is going to be affecting the movements of a character, like stun, anything is crowd control. It's considered crowd control. And well, simply put, these construct units, they're not necessarily crowd controllable. On my character's DPS drastically changes when I can put chill on my targets, and these targets are not affectable. Like you're probably seeing it on the screen right now. Like my damage just drops 1 to 100, from 100 to 1 I should say maybe. It's just absolutely mind-boggling how drastically the character starts acting differently, and I couldn't really fix this without like just completely revamping or entirely respecking, let's say, because I have lots of chill damage, I have lots of freeze damage. Like I just go live the second that I crowd control, and I go live versus a boss. Like a boss is not crowd controllable either, but the boss is a break bar, and the more CC you have, the faster the break bar fills up, and then I delete the boss. Another tip for you, actually, there's a control aspect in the game, a legendary aspect. I think it was called control. It says immobilize, stun, and freeze. You get 35% more damage. Okay, this is the aspect. And when a boss breaks, all these 3 conditions are correct. So, for instance, when I'm versus an elite pack, I freeze them, and this legendary power is giving me 35% more damage. Well, technically 70% more damage because it's on my staff, so it's like twice as strong, right? But versus a boss, it gives me almost 3 times as much. Simply because, so it's 210%. Simply because the boss is immobilized, frozen and stunned at the same time when it is broken. So putting this to your staff and multiplying that by 2 is ridiculously important versus bosses. It is absolutely insane. That's also why you'll see my character just to literally delete bosses, because I just like, you know, multiply insanely. Even though the bosses are like immune to, you know, CC, when they break, and I break them quite quickly, they're that much more susceptible to me. So the character, except the constructs, excuse me, have been working incredibly fun, and it has been a blast to play, and it's so fast paced, and you need to like react to literally even the smallest things on the screen. Mind you, I have 7 points into like glass cannon somehow, because there's 2 coming from my necklace and then 1 coming from my chest, I think. Well, actually 3 coming from my necklace, I suppose. So I end up having like 7 points in it, and I'm dealing that much more damage, but I'm taking that much more damage too. I think it's like 21% more damage taken or something, while my character is already crazy squishy. So like it has been really fun, but I'm gonna bench this mostly because of the constructs and how they're like almost, you know, kind of invulnerable to me, and it has been like kind of a grindy thing to like find these things in like nightmare dungeons, normal dungeons, out in the Helltide, during like normal world events, and try to just DPS those things down, and then you see like other classes just completely delete them, where, you know, some doors, even the same case, you know, blockades, the same case, anything that you can think of that I cannot put chill on, it is an issue versus my character. And I do believe that like that's kind of killing the spec a little bit. It's kind of like a bounce skill a little bit. It really takes away that like yeah, for sure. So Barbarian, I'm going to be trying out some Whirlwind, and this time around I'm going to be actually checking guides and stuff, see like what people are coming up with, what they figured out. I'm gonna check out like Icy Veins, Maxroll, and a couple of streamers that have been, you know, playing Whirlwind, and then maybe like compare them. This is what I'm going to be doing on stream for the most part. I actually got boosted on my Barbarian to about like, I think level 50, like people from my clan, thank you Munkin and Zyle, they gave me basically both of the cap dungeons on my level 1 character on the Barbarian, and then afterwards ran a couple of normal dungeons in World Tier 4, which ended up giving me in about like 30 minutes level 50. But from that moment I started playing alone on stream, and I'm going to continue my journey playing alone. Well, not necessarily like limiting myself, I can definitely group up, but I'm not necessarily like spamming a dungeon over and over again to like level up faster. I'm trying to like figure out the character, you know, figure out the spec a little bit, find some more gear. I'm in the world tier 3 right now, so I'm assuming like tomorrow or the next day I'm going to be jumping into tier 4, and I'll see how the Barbarian is going to be holding up versus the, you know, Sanctuary, let's say. Thank you very much for watching, YouTube. How is your journey so far? What characters did you try? If you have been enjoying my videos and, you know, enjoying my journey in Diablo 4, I would like to enjoy yours too. So in the comment section down below, tell me what you played so far, and, you know, what level are you, what you have been digging about the character that you played, or maybe even like the characters, you know, upsides, downsides, anything that you would like to share about the character that you tried so far. Cheers, bros. See you next time.